our next session, which is again an interaction with incubation centers and ideas. We would like to introduce Dr. Ramjee Pallela for this session. This is going to be quite interesting because this is an exploration of the crucial role of incubation centers in nurturing startups. Because when you think about incubators in general, you're ideally talking about not just people who provide the space, but also the mentorship, networking, and access to the ecosystem. And the right person is here to give us an entire overview of it. We have Dr. Ramjee Pallela, who has also recently taken over as the senior consultant at ISBA. Prior to this, he served Prior to this, he served as the Chief Operating Officer at the Atal Incubation Center of CCMD Hyderabad for over 7 years. Before that, served as the Chief Manager in the Grants Management Division at IKP Knowledge Park, working closely with Bailag's big program. He also served as the Research Scientist and Project Manager at the DBT ICGEB Center for Advanced Bioenergy Research. He holds an MBA from Pondicherry University. And with that, I think the list is unending. We have Dr. Ramji for the next session. Please give a big round.
Thank you so much, Anindya sir, always our guru. Thanks for inviting me, especially for this conference. I think you may be knowing different IPR and strategies, portfolio, and how companies do these kind of things. You know most of the theory probably, and some of the case studies you might have discussed. So my topic is completely different, but very much linked to your profession. Maybe the currently, how many students are here? Please raise hands. Yeah, of course. Then again, how many startups are here? Cool. At least, yeah, close to 10% of them. And how many faculty are here? Yes. So, I mean, India, the way we are going forward, the past 10, 12 years, relying on incubation and innovation ecosystem. So IP is one thing that is driving our country as well, competing with the developed countries and also fellow competing countries like China, either in population or in technology. Of course, some other things they are way forward when compared with India, but IP, innovation, the jugaad, we are not less than any other countries. So with that pride, I'd like to mention some of the realities and key aspects of how India is trying to actually nurture young minds or any other early stage ideas with a concept called incubation. Because if you see 20 years before, there is no incubating of ideas kind of thing, 20, 25 years. But in the past 15 years, we kind of promote incubating our ideas. Even school students, even any homemakers or any other farmers or livelihood people, small business people, they kind of understand the concept of incubation and why incubation is needed in the country. Because close to 120 unicorns in the country, probably none of them got incubated. Harsh facts, great reality. But again, we have the failures in the unicorns as well. At the same time, now deep tech startups who are becoming unicorns and also coming into the IPOs, public, they actually got incubated. With some of the examples, maybe Aether, I did not cover it in my slides. So let me go through the slides that you will be understanding what I am doing, what India is doing for the best of nurturing our ideas. Congratulations, National Startup Day yesterday, and it's a 10 years of announcing by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. They have given chance to some of the startups to also speak yesterday. If you see the link out there, I put it in YouTube actually, YouTube link. So try to understand more of how India is contributing to global economy. So with that, one slide, more than 2 lakhs, maybe I think 2 lakh startups that we have. and close to 1,200 incubators in the country. About 3 to 4 years before, around COVID times, we have hardly about 350, 400 incubators. But post-pandemic, the startup number exponentially grown. At the same time, incubators number as well. But yes, how many are really functional? How many are really doing good? So in the incubators as well, out of 1180 or 1200 incubators, at least 500, 600 startup incubators are doing really well. Not only in the deep tech sector and biotechnology, healthcare only, but also into other areas into fintech, edutech, climate, energy, and of course now India's mission towards space tech and semicon, etc. Yes, lot of job creation is there because you all think very differently than what a typical job seeker is doing. That's where we all assemble here because we are trying to make more strong IP. Where Gautam mentioned, it's not filing of IP is not important, but again, you need to look at the strengths of the IP, how strong it is. That's where startups and wannabe startups can look at it. So some of the key factors, sorry for the bad font, I think, basically incubation centers, just like the way you have the egg incubated and there is a chick coming out of it. So we get calls even today for some of the people, sir, we have some farms here, so हमको incubation चाहिए, incubation chamber चाहिए. So I mean, so that's the kind of naive understanding of incubation. Similarly, the startups will be coming out of these incubation centers a bit matured. So about a period of 12 to 24 months or 36 months, they will be supported with infrastructure and networking, hand-holding with corporates, and their portfolios support by either small funding, grants, maybe investment pipeline as well, and also strong mentoring and advisory services and other consultancy services, analytical services if they are working on the deep science projects, etc. And also piloting and pivoting of the products that they are developing. So that's what is an incubator. A place to stimulate your ideas, reflecting your thought processes, to collaborate and play around. In simplest terms, that culture will be developed in an innovator to think for a product or a process that he or she is developing by forming a company or not forming a company, because company formation may not be necessary, but if you are raising more funds and investments and also if you think that you can sell the product by yourself, maybe that's fine. Otherwise, make a strong know-how or strong IP and just license it. That's the best practice that I recommend to the scientific participants here and student innovators also. Of course, company formation, yes, good that you are the boss for your company, you can rule the world by yourself. Think on those aspects. I mean, this slide may not be useful. 1 or 2 startups, they can look at it. How to pick a right startup, that's a challenge for incubators. At the same time, how to pick an incubator. There are hundreds of incubators, but who is really catering all the services the right way? Who are the team of the incubator? How much time they can spend? Who are the alumni? What kind of funding pipeline and programs that they are running? And where it is located? Who are the mentor pool? Who are the advisory and governing board? You also can actually scout and choose the right incubator. So I think as an incubator, we provide all kinds of services to startups. So despite of team building or maybe connecting to CCMB, I talk about CCMB because recently I just moved out of AIC CCMB, one of the incubators, life science incubators in the country. So market research understanding, Okay, maybe regulatory understanding. So IP, we may not be having in-house IP people, so we have to contact, sir is conducting several IP clinics with CCMB. And similarly, we tell our startups to go to ICRISAT. So Dr. Surya, they constantly train startups towards IP strategy and IP filing, etc. And also 3 to 4 agencies which actually understand biotechnology, because ours is a biotechnology. So I think, when you're trying to become IP practice agents or forms that you call legal forms, I think you also need to sound well enough on your trust areas. You cannot sound, sorry for this open statement, because we actually be very cautious about our startups. Our startups are our pride, right? If I'm sending a biotechnology startup, the other firm not only filing, not only giving concessions or whatever on the IP charges, but understand strong subject around that innovation. Very important. The moment when I connected Professor Anindya to our CEO, who is a retired scientist, within half an hour at least, they converse very well, understand the problem out there. So I think, you need to highlight, okay, if you're good enough in copyrights, health tech or agri tech and biotechnology or maybe environmental, be it any, so the subject experts are also very important in IP things. So we connect our legal and IP experts such that, so we provide those services as well. And the rest of the things you may not be interested much, but so this slide for the startups per se and incubation per se, your science is good to make an IP, but it actually plays only 20-25% of your role in the business. So the science driven business, if you are thinking, please note it down. Your IP and strong know-how is crucial. That's it. Many people say that, okay, no, my science is amazing. It can create wonders and it can revolutionize anything. And I can make this product and just sell it. Unless until you have strong IP behind it. That IP, how best you can license to the channel partners or maybe distributors or who are the takers or larger corporates, for example, you have to do all the exercise. So what incubators does, they actually make these particular innovator undergo different practices of making business canvas around that idea. So one of the key aspects is that what is the IP feasibility and what is the model of business, whether you want to sell by yourself or license, and are there some dialogues exchanged with bigger companies that if some kind of product or process developed by me or my company, will you be interested? No need to reveal there, but just, in the surrounding superficial bate, you can start. Anyway, understanding the local perspectives, global perspectives of your product or whatever the technology that you're developing, and also industrial suitability. So we all try to actually set the roadmap for that particular idea, and we also send them to get out of the offices or labs to come back after 2 to 3 months with your problem statements and solution, what kind of solution that's feasible or not, scalable or not. So this is what incubators are doing. So I'm trying to actually give a flavor of what we're doing in the country. So this is the organization where I am working currently. Indirectly, I used to work there, but now directly to nurture incubators. So till now you heard about nurturing startups, right? Similarly, we have incubators, hundreds of incubators, but how can we make at least 25 to 50 world-class incubators that can be actually compared with the incubators in Dutch or maybe USA or South Korea, China. Can you guess the incubators in China? How many are there roughly? At least some number, some guess. I can't make nice exciting quiz like Anindya sir has done, but something like that. Yeah, I mean they crossed, yes, 1 lakh. So whatever 75, 80,000 recognized ones, but closely 1.5 lakhs, okay, maybe small and big together. And you can compare same population, India and China. So how many incubators? India is targeting 5,000 incubators by 2030. It's not about the number. So what ISBA, Indian Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Parks and Business Incubators Network Association, ISBA, we have 250 plus members. What we are trying to do, we actually inculcate some of the best practices in the incubation ecosystem so that we can match our standards with global incubators such that we can build our own startups more efficient way to see or increase the success in our startup percentage across the sectors. That's where this organization is trying to work out different, I mean, currently, maybe, past 3 to 4 years, what we see that government, half a dozen ministries or departments, they are saying ISBA is an extended arm of the government agencies. Being part of this association, the advantage is that incubators will be getting visibility and also funding pipeline. Government actually, maybe by March, you'll be hearing several startup. It's a kind of a rainy season of funding for sure. 1 lakh crores from RDI. How many of you know that 1 lakh crores funding we have in India? Anusandhan National Research Foundation. So research and development and investment funding, whatever that we have, already we have quantum of money, but you don't know how to spend that money. So please try to get alerted, maybe your fellow friends, family and other mentors to put some ideas towards that funding, and you can actually get help. And BIRAC kind of agencies, I'm going to tell you in the next few slides. So ISBA is covering different areas. I think, you can look at it, any of the areas. Now world is talking about the climate resilience, One Health, this kind. How many of you know One Health word? Please raise hands genuinely. Yeah, so rest of the people also please try to understand. One Health is nothing but animal health, plants health and our environment health together. So how we are trying to address these things collectively through this incubation ecosystem and startup ecosystem of the country. So every year we do the conferences where all incubators will be gathering and strategizing how deep tech strategy can be done for next 2 to 3 years. Now we are doing an exercise on infra mapping for the country, because it's like, every neighbor is buying another apartment, another car. Okay, incubators or scientists, I'll tell you. I was a scientist. I used to work. I bought an HPLC. Neighboring person also buying an HPLC. It's an instrument, by the way. I think that system is to be integrated well, and we have to map our own strengths of infrastructure so that it can be useful for every startup and also other innovators in the country. That's where ISBA, through these conferences, either we talk about some of the IPs. We are also Arctic is doing one workshop, sir, IP related workshop in February. So Nalsar also may be part of next or CXO conclave or sometime. So IP, regulatory, funding, infra and instruments mapping and other policies, best practices will be discussed so that we can strengthen our own ecosystem in the country. So we partner with different agencies including MSME, AIM, DST, DBT, textiles, MOE, etc. These are the funding agencies most of you may be knowing. I spend good enough time in Instagram for posting a lot of photographs, And I also spend a lot of time in another social media platform. Any guess? Sorry? Thank you. So how many of you are following LinkedIn, or maybe in LinkedIn at least? Please raise the hands. Very bad. So college students, school students, I mean, all of you should be there. My daily dose of information about technology, technological insights is from LinkedIn. You may not be believing, but I follow all these funding agencies, they are also in LinkedIn. Other than Twitter, Instagram and all, they are also strongly disseminating bunches of information uh, in the LinkedIn that I kind of forwarding to our own startups and other agencies. So please try to follow what they're doing, what's happening around the world. This probably I think discussed by previous speakers, but BIRAC, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, some of you may be knowing, it is set up by DBT, Department of Biotechnology. They set up 7 TTOs, Technology Transfer Offices. That is the reason I kept this slide actually. So what BIRAC does, BIRAC also does these kind of clinics and workshops, and they streamline student innovations towards patenting by giving small quick IP reports and detailed IP reports, prior art searches and all. So please try to look at BIRAC's website. And there are some IP schemes as well there. Startups can apply so that they can get some kind of benefits. These are the things. So we are discussing about incubators. That's why I have to show this slide of about TTOs. These technology transfer officers are placed in some of the incubators. If you can see here, BCL you are knowing already, Biotechnology Consortium of India Limited, and this is ITTO, FITT I think. Then TechX is there in Gujarat. Then CCamp is another bioincubator. KIT is another incubator. TBI in Bhubaneswar. IKP Knowledge Park, just adjacent to this place. Genome Valley and TIPS Kerala. So why I am telling is that as a whole, incubators are facing challenges in streamlining the IP, sir. Because especially the deep tech areas, they come to use our facility in the incubators. They start working, 20-25 lakhs they put from their pocket on the consumables, whatever. From the starting point, we tell what is the IP strategy, what Gautam told just now. That is not clear. The not question, but suggestion or maybe advice to all of you here, please try to engage with early stage startups in the country. Guide them, be with them, that after 2 to 3 years of burning your money and your time, if you think of your IP, gone case. So please work around the IP strategy so that your plan can be well and your business model can be good enough to take it forward. So this I covered. So one example, my previous organization, I can tell you, these are different programs, different challenges that we have done. So altogether, $3 to $3.5 million that we raised in the past 7.5, 8 years span of time. You can look at those programs. You can get small funding of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, up to 1 crore through various programs. But again, the challenge lies in same as we are discussing today. We also cover as the topic, of the conference, sir, about ML, machine learning or IP and all. So we 30% or 40% of our startups are linked with ICT interventions. Okay, information technology, computation technology, and all these things. So if any IT experts here, IT students or something? No. Okay, 1 or 2. So No, no, I'm behind you. There are two. They are not lifting the hand, so I'm just looking at them. No, why I'm telling, Tide Technology Incubation and Development of Entrepreneurship 3.0 scheme is coming. Starting from 4 lakhs, you will be getting some kind of support. Any startups, if you are applying, you can look at it. We also got Tide 2.0. The closing ceremony is next month, 5 years closing ceremony. 5 cohorts we have run. So, I mean, please try to spend good enough time for not only funding. We have enough funding in the country, but we have not um, focusing on enough ideas nurtured well towards profitable businesses. For the science-based businesses, IP is mandatory. So with one example I can tell here, in the COVID times, of course this they did not do good business on this IP, pardon me on that, but it's a small idea where one startup told, sir, you have this 1 crore worth of machine, BLI, bilayer interferometry. Don't worry on the terminology. So, one drop of blood, if you can centrifuge and test the plasma with that particular machine, within 25-30 seconds, you will come to know whether COVID antigen is there or not. So, they just validated 2,500 or 3,000 samples. Again, antibody also they have done. We set up meetings with channel partners, path labs, etc. Government also. But you know, if you put these machines in a railway station, for example, okay, every minute, if it is that's a 8 channeled one. Okay, within half a minute, 8 people screened, gone. There are some 32, 96, 64, whatever. So railway stations, airports, no need to wait there for long queues. Right? That is what the idea. Idea is good, right? But it could not make good business by the time the machine cost is 3.5 crores. Because this old machine, that time it is 1 crore. So government cannot buy those many machines, right? And even path labs and all, they have other methods. COVID gone, but this is one of the patents they have done. So CCMB former director and our CEO, this company. So Oncosimis is one company, keeping this technology aside.
So they failed because they did not do the business case.
Yeah, the transfer of this technology is not done. So the gap here, the takers are not ready because they have to buy those many machines also in case. This is actually good model for the mass screening actually. But mass screening is done only, see for example, Map My Genome, they used to have different method that time. And other people, one or two also, they have certain things. But this is very accurate one, very precise one, but adapting by the government or such agencies is very difficult. Even we Pulse in Telangana, we connected to them as well. Anyway, so this company incubated with us for 4 years, made 13 patents and 2 trademarks, strong trademarks. In the simplest term I can tell, not in the biotechnological term, if any antibody based molecule, okay, treatment molecule, one drug or whatever, coming out of a bacteria or coming out of a mammalian cell, human cell or human related cells, current existing yield is 1.5 grams per liter. Okay, that's the expression from the bacteria, for example. Okay, they made it double the yield actually. So industries are craving, oh, this kind of technology. They made immediately those patents. And just now I texted that guy, how many patents so far you have done? After moving out, today this company made total 35 patents and 4 trademarks and 5 publications. Remember, not only IP, to sustain the startup ecosystem to do businesses, you have to have your peer-reviewed publications also to convince the customers. It can be another business people or convince the investors as well. So that's a one good example in the deep tech sector, how incubators can nurture such a strong bacterial expression based technologies. So he simply put a word, he mentioned about the terminology, backsec, accet. Okay. So bacterial one, backsec, and accet is the CHO cell expression. Chinese hamster ovarian, sorry, CHO means. Anyway, so this is one company example. So last slide. Um, I think students, faculty, or anybody, if you want to actually look at the opportunities, you always no need to be in the race of becoming an entrepreneur. As an enabler, from past 10-12 years, after coming back to India, I am promoting student innovators, faculty, others to, okay, why can't you start a startup? There is a 50 lakhs grant for you. The way I just tell, if 100 people apply, 60-70 people did not get, 20-30 people get second time, but at least 10 people get first time also. 50 lakhs grant. So getting grants is not that difficult if you actually approach is right way. And starting a startup also not that challenging thing. Overnight job. Close your eyes and you open, your startup is ready. Company name, blah, blah, blah. But what is that you want to do? What kind of business, what kind of impact you want to create? It's not only about the money, right? It's about the impact at the same time. That's what best businesses go forward and scale well. Employment generation, or maybe women supporting or livelihood supporting. So a lot of models that we have. So where you stand, you can decide. So here, these 4-5 points for the legal point of view, where IP and legalities that you work, you can work with startups, and you can set up a startup also, a legal firm or IP firm, whatever. But you need to help incubators. You need to help startups. You need to help government agencies which are actually striving hard to cater to that mass IP scenario in the country, for example. In Bairak, Vinita is working. Maybe you can ask any such agencies, they may need internships. So you can go there and do internship or try to work out so that you can contribute back to the country, right? So with these few pointers, I think I close here, but any questions, one or two, happy to. See, my time is there. See, my time is there till 3:30, but yes, sir. Yeah, one question from you, one from others. Yeah. Yeah, please, ma'am. Yeah. Go ahead. Good. I can hear. Yeah. Hmm.
So from your experience, what can bring the money? Like, what are the realistic ways to bring money and keep the startups?
Very good question. Your good name, Sophia, right? Okay, please sit. So, out of these number of incubators that I am telling, at least 15-20 incubators, they are seriously working in the social sector. In fact, we also have one program that is called SIIP, Sparsh program of Bairak again. So, anybody under 35 years of age, they come with enthusiasm and curiosity, no need of ideas also. They come here once you are selected out of 70 such fellows. 60,000 rupees fellowship per month for 18 months and 10 lakhs also will get. 2 to 3 months they spend outside, right? They come up with a problem statement. So, why I'm telling that story, linking to your question, if you can able to convince the impact that you are creating and also solving the ground level problem in masses. And there are some programs, exclusively for the social. There is a incubation center in Hyderabad itself. There are two, three actually. One is ALC, Access Livelihood Consultancy, the fantastic incubator. They are actually catering their services across the country, not only Telangana, AP, etc., Maharashtra, and even Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and all. So, if you could able to convince the case that this particular impact is created through my startup in these communities, and even the numbers may be small. See, generally NGOs come into this picture, but if it is a private limited company or LLP working in the social sector, it's profitable scenario, right? There again, you have to convince these cases. Okay. Again, how you are aligning your path towards government engagement, you will not get much money there. But otherwise, you have to connect to the corporates as well, 2, 3 corporates, their CSR engagement. So I think strong case of connecting these dots under your umbrella of startup definitely can attract funding either from corporates or even the government sector, because we supported at least 10 odd number of social startups by ourselves, maybe 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs kind of thing. So there are ways. Yeah.
Many people tell me that both those go hand in hand. Like you can't do this impact and also expect money.
That's what I'm telling now. So money is important for businesses, but not only important for businesses. For example, your kind of startups, I think you have to balance both. Impact is ultimately, sorry, how many, whatever the stats that we collect, right? How much of employment that you have created, okay, how many lives you have impacted, okay, what kind of strategies you adapted to solve those problems in these industrial area. So I think all these countable at the same time. Yes, I think where you can get your business sustained may not be scale in 10x. I'm doing 10x, 20x. May not be. Even if you're doing at least 2x to 3x, that's good enough. So we have to balance both. Yeah. So, I think.
One more quick question.
No, I'll be leaving after this. You can ask me now, and my contact details are there anytime you can. No, please go ahead. Yes.
So, sir, okay, my quick question is, first of all, thank you so much. It is very interesting to hear already from the folks. Now, you are dealing with so many startups, right? So now, one is that why do these startups really fail? Why they don't get the funding? If 100 companies are coming, they will say that only 10 are coming. Are they not serious, or they are not getting funding because their products are not making any business sense?
Yeah. So out of 100, we have funding for 50 in that particular scheme I'm talking about. So pan India, when we have the funding landscape, startup founders are not realizing which scheme or which funding is suitable for their stage of startup. First of all, okay. See, if you are eligible to get this early stage funding of 20 to 30 lakhs or 5 to 10 lakhs, you have to pitch that only, right? You can't actually pitch for 1 crore, 2 crores funding.
Okay.
So the strategy is missing. The way IP strategy, funding itself is a kind of art of raising funding. So you have to realize which stage that you are there. Maybe Dr. Surya will be telling next talk. Technology readiness level and all these are there, right? So I think business ready level, I think they are different things. So just quickly to mention, idea to proof of concept to MVP, minimum viable product, and then small validations, large validations, and pre-commercialization and regulatory aspects and everything comes there. Manufacturing, pre-commercialization, and commercialization. All these TRL 2 to 9, you have a fund. I didn't keep that slide. Starting from 0 to 25 lakhs, and then 50 lakhs, then 70 lakhs to 1 crore, then 2 to 3 crores, then 7 to 10 crores, then 20 to 50 crores. It's a kind of a scenario. So startups, some may not be the startup grants per se. They may be academic grants. The ANRF and RDI funding that is coming, startups can engage with the academic innovators, work with them, get the funding, get the license post completion of the project. So I think multiple ways this funding is there. Yes, serious word, I liked it
Yeah.
when you use. Serious in the sense they are not serious enough to get coached by the mentors and incubators like us.
Okay, and then if the money is coming, just take it, then they will not be recommended for it.
You want to add, sir?
Yes, sir.
There are several reasons.
Yes,
Right.
It's not just ever one research.
yes.
Hey, primarily, if you say something which they are the from their side, something which is the environment. So from the environment point of view, startup faith because of market uncertainties.
Hmm.
From the incubation side, they fail primarily because identification of the wrong purpose. Number one. Number two is over optimistic projections and but how much people now know it all. Whether it is finance, R&D or IT, almost, see, I work with several startups, several incubations, throughout the country. This is a founder's ego or founder's attitude. No doubt. Because he's saying, I'm putting in effort, I'm putting in money. So I take that as a call.
Yeah, actually, my own boss, I shouldn't say this, but no, I am a scientist already. He retired actually. He used the same statement. I am a scientist. I need mentor also. So this is the question that he has. So I think the coachability and the mindset learning, that's very important.
You know, and many of them are not serious players.
Yeah.
Okay. What I see is young, energetic groups who come to the startup ecosystem are really struggling and trying to do well. And they are doing it because they don't have enough. There's another group of startup community. They have more than enough. There's a hunger, the appetite there is not, the fire is not there. It is not a post-retirement engagement.
Yeah. I mean, fire has to be there. Without fire, you are not even eligible.
So what happens? All of the
Yeah.
country, all
Thank you, sir. I mean, yeah, I think the funding perspective I answered, but other factors, please note, very important. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Thank you. Thank.
So one also in special type of patients, India is not for owners. There is so much unknown as you know. But these are special patients, long term, not giving up the long term for the short term.
That is true. So, I mean, like, having said that, I think we're also pretty running short of time at the moment. So, we will go on to the last session at this juncture. Before that, I request Professor Sarkar to kindly give a memento to Ramjee, Doctor.